Yes guys, welcome back to Hair System DIY. I hope you're all doing very well today. My original intention was to do this video outside, given we're going to be talking about the sun, but unfortunately, as you can see, the weather has really let me down. I live in the UK, should I be surprised? Probably not, it's absolutely pouring outside. But anyway, the topic of this video is, can the sun damage your hair system? Let's jump into this together. Now this video is sponsored by Leave. It's the current system that I'm wearing is a Leave custom French lace. If you're interested in it, check out my description box. It's got all the information you need. Nice little discount there too. So the sun, you might have heard about this before in terms of the sun lightening the hair within a hair system. Well, there's a reason for that. It's called oxidation. So basically, when your hair system is exposed to the sun for a long period of time, it causes the hair on the hair system to oxidize. This basically means the hair gets damaged. The hair system hair that we have is heavily processed, it's heavily dyed, and it can cause a sort of lightening. Brassy undertones is a word you might have come across before, and that's pretty much what it causes. I've got actually a hair system which I wore through summer, which effectively meets the criteria. I spent a lot of time in the sun. I hope the camera can pick this up. With the light as it is, it might not, but let's give it a go. But anyway, with it being a very hot, dry and sunny summer, I didn't really wear a hat very much, and I exposed my hair system to the sun. Now, I can see it. I don't know if the camera can see it. I hope it can, but basically there's some brassy undertones that have become apparent. This is normally a 7, or this came as a 7 colour, but it's gone, yeah, slightly gingerish. I think that's, my hair systems go ginger. When they get exposed to sun for a long time, they go ginger. They don't go like super blonde, they just go ginger. It loses the match with my natural bio hair, and it kind of becomes obvious that I'm wearing a system. Either that, or I've just tried to put some sun in on, and it's just gone really wrong. I put too much sun in on. So yeah, it does become quite obvious. Now, the reason hair systems oxidize and normal hair doesn't oxidize is because normal bio hair has a hair cuticle coming out of the shaft right here, okay? Now, these are removed when a hair system is made. So the hair system, or the hair in the hair system, doesn't have that protection. The cuticle protects hair from oxidizing. Hair system hair doesn't contain those cuticles, they are removed, so the hair has no protection. And as a result, the UV rays get in on that hair and they just lighten it. Now, I will add a caveat here. If you've got darker hair, or if you've got a darker hair system, I'm talking like a 1 or a 2, so pretty much jet black, you won't really suffer too much from, I have seen hair oxidation happen, by the way, with a 1 and a 2, but it doesn't happen as much. It certainly doesn't happen as quickly. So if you're lucky enough to have darker hair in your hair system, you probably won't, this video probably won't be as relevant to you, but I'd still check it out anyway. This is more targeted towards people with lighter hair, like myself. I'm a 7, I'm a sort of light brown, especially if you've got blonde hair, if you've got ginger hair, anything like that. Your hair system can start oxidizing quite quickly if there's too much exposure to the sun. There are other things which can oxidize your system. I will cover that in another video. We're talking about the sun today. So how can we get around this, Adam? Well, there's a number of things that we can do to get around them. Some aren't quite as preferable as others. For instance, the most obvious one and the most fail-safe choice here is just to wear a hat when you're outside. It doesn't have to be a hat, it can be a beanie. It can basically be anything that stops the sun from basically getting to your hair system. Now, I basically prefer a flat cap, but obviously there is a drawback to this, and that is you want to be showing off your hair in the sun, don't you? You know, you go on holiday somewhere, you want to be showing off this awesome hair system. You want to look at your best, and sometimes when you're hiding that under a cap or a beanie or whatever, you don't quite feel yourself and you don't really feel you're getting the most out of your hair system. So in that scenario, there are a few other options. What I would say is, if you are on holiday, try and keep your hair away from swimming pools because they've got chlorine in them. Now, chlorine is effectively a mild form of bleach. It is really great. It does a great job at basically keeping swimming pools sanitized and that kind of thing, but it's not good for your hair system. It will just it will oxidize it, it will bleach it, these lighter tones that you just don't want. So you've got two options here. One, just go for a swim with your head above the water. Or two, wear a really, really tight shower cap. Another option whereby you don't have to wear a hat is basically getting a really good UV protecting hair leave-in conditioner. Okay, now these are available. They're not quite as available as they used to be. I remember Hair Direct used to offer a really good one, but unfortunately they've gone under, as many of you will know. I will drop one or two that I've found in the description box below and the links to them so you can check those out if that's your preferred method to basically protect your hair system. It won't do as good a job as wearing a hat, but it will probably give you more time with your system before the oxidation starts. The last thing to consider is to just stay in the shade when you can. If you go out in the sun for 5 minutes, it won't really make much of a difference. The hair does take a while to oxidize in a hair system. It does require a number of trips out in the sun where the UV rays are beating down your head. It's not going to happen overnight, so you can rest assured of that. But try and stay in the shade when you can. It's not healthy for us to stay out in the sun all the time anyway. Our skin just naturally isn't designed for it. And always do make sure that you're wearing a sun blocker, you know, factor 30, factor 40, if you're me, factor 50, because it's, you know, too much sun is not good for your skin. But yeah, just get in the shade where you can. If you are on holiday, if you're on a beach, try and get an umbrella above you, you know, one of those big beach umbrellas. Just sit under there, you know, for a couple of hours a day, because that, again, that will stop the sun, the UV rays from getting to your system, and it will maintain the color that you bought the system with for a longer period of time. Now, if you've got an outside job, obviously that's not possible. I'm talking like builders, or even, you know, or carpenters, or, you know, people who work in double glazing, for instance, and they're installing windows. Any of those kind of jobs whereby you're outside a lot, maybe you're a sports coach or something like that, it's hard to stay away from the sun. However, in these kind of jobs, you probably can get away with wearing a hard hat or just a flat cap or something like that. It will basically get you longer out of your system. And that's what we all want here. We want you to get as long as possible out of your system, because these things aren't cheap and you want to be getting value for your money. You want to be getting bang for your buck. So in summary, the best ways to prevent oxidation, or at least to tame oxidation and prolong the period you have with your hair system whereby it matches your bio hair color. Number one, get yourself a flat cap or a beanie if it's winter. Oxidation can still happen in winter, guys. Not quite as much, not quite as quickly, but it can happen. So make sure you get yourself a flat cap or a beanie. If you're at work and you work outside, get yourself a hard hat or just a normal cap or whatever. That is categorically the best way to prevent against oxidation, and, well, rapid oxidation especially. Number two, consider getting a UV protecting leave-in conditioner. These options are great. They're subtle, they're kind of pricey, but at the end of the day, it means you don't have to wear a cap all the time. And even though it's not as fail-safe as a cap, you can still get a good amount of time out of your system before it starts oxidizing. So again, that's really important to consider. Lastly, especially if you're on holiday, you don't have to be in the sun all the time, guys. It's not even good for your skin. So get into the shade when you can. If you're sitting on the beach, get a nice beach umbrella, sit under it, and just enjoy the weather. And just lastly, if you are starting to get sort of brassy undertones after a month or a couple of months, your hair system is oxidizing, this can be reversed. I've done another video actually on this, talking about color depositing shampoo. It's not a permanent measure, it's a temporary fix, but it can help you get back to the original color of your hair system for a couple of weeks at a time. You just need to apply it every few weeks. I'm going to whack that video up on the screen now so you can check that out if your hair system is already oxidizing. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Enjoy the sunshine, wind or rain if you live where I am. Take care, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.